Hello, this is Juan for JuanSource.com. I'm going to be doing a demo commentary on a match from this previous CVOP season. This is 3D New York versus Pandemic, us being Pandemic, obviously. And this is going to be my first Ruska commentary, and I'm just going to start off right away showing a bunch of aggressive pushes that we do, and really how it benefits you on Ruska, especially to be very aggressive on the CT side, because I think it's going to, in the long run, be very beneficial for us. We're going to get a lot of rounds because we get a lot of early picks with our aggressiveness here. And you'll see right away on the first round we boosted Paradox up into the vents right here, and this is a pick that he does quite often that I think really catches teams off guard and makes them adapt. And we do it first round because we want them to be worried about it the whole match. And you see right away he picked that and then he drops off and goes plays his position. And then what Mustang and I did here, excuse me. Mustang and I did here, we pushed into the lobby right there. By the way, I'm going to be referring to that as the lobby. I'm in the A site right here, and the other site is the B site. Some people get that confused because the names were recently switched. But anyhow, what we did there was play very aggressive because we noticed that there was only one guy down there, and so we had two guys there, and we wanted to isolate that guy right away, so we pushed it. And this came down to a 2 versus 2 situation. Now it's down to a 1 versus 1. It's myself versus K-Sharp, and I know exactly where he is. He's towards the canyon over there. And what I do is I hit the diffuse right there. And what I should have done is taken a much wider angle there. By not really moving after faking the diffuse, he knew exactly where I was, allowing him to just run in and pre-fire me. So that was kind of a mistake on my part, and I probably should have repositioned myself so I wasn't so predictable. But again, right here, you're going to see a little bit of our aggressive here at the A site. And what I do right here is I play this aggressively. I push down on the ramp, and we try to isolate whatever guy's here. And all three of us just explode on that without any flashes or anything. We just try to catch them off guard. And so by doing that, we're able to push into the red room here. And we take pretty much control of this whole half side of the map. And we're in a very good position to win the round now. We just got 2 entry kills by being aggressive. And we cut off pretty much half the map. So they're forced to go to A now, so that we're able to over-rotate to that site. We're going to have, I believe, 4 towards that site. Well, Nick's flanking right here, but we have 3 guys stacked towards that site. They really don't have much of a chance to win this round because of what we were able to do early in the round. But we'll see how this plays out. Griff's just playing in the site right here. That's a pretty good spot to play. He's able to just counter flash right here, call for backup. And we know there's only 3 left, so likely that they're going to be coming together. Not to mention we have the whole side of the map cut off, and Nick's able to flank and just take him down. Okay. Another thing about the A site here, I think it's actually a pretty hard site to hold. What we're going to do about this is we're going to try to isolate one entrance from the other. There's obviously upper A, and then there's the ramp coming from the lobby area. So what we try to do is either 1, be aggressive, or 2, double up on one area and just isolate one area and kind of give up the other so we don't have to worry about it. Because I think playing in the site, playing passive, it's pretty difficult to hold. If you give them position up in the halls here where I am, if you let them have this area and you let them have the lobby, they have a lot of room to work with and they can really flash and smoke you out, and there's really not much you can do playing from in the site. So what we do here is play very aggressively here. And time is getting low, so I just start flashing here. I actually heard one, and I was assuming the guy that was close to me would be flashed as well, so I pulled off another flash to delay, but I was mistaken. He wasn't flashed, and he just walked up and killed me. But what I did do was I delayed, and I got my rotate there, and I saw 3 guys there. I called that right away, so my teammates were able to get there in time before they came out the halls. And we're going to win the round here. It's down to, I believe, a 4 versus 1. Okay, again, we want to continue being either aggressive or playing isolation. And since our aggressive has worked pretty well, I think we're going to continue doing that. We know that they're only sending 1 guy lobby, which I think, excuse me, is somewhat of a mistake because he's very susceptible to isolation, and we can just kind of push and kill him. And again, have control of that side of the map right away. But for whatever reason there, we decided to not go all the way, so we're dropping into our isolation setup right here. And you'll notice Nick, let me see if I can get his view. Nick is at the end of the hall right here, and this is the general setup that we play most of the rounds. I'm kind of pushed up in the hall here, and Nick's able to half watch the ramp and help upper whenever I hear them coming. And so again, this is what I was talking about when we're isolating. We want to worry about the halls mainly, but Nick's able to spot here and call for rotates. But we hear a call that they're coming to our site, and so we're able to rotate quickly. And Mustang was playing kind of watching the vent, and he's kind of our A, mid, and B rotator. And him being so close to the vent right there, he was able to help the halls guys and take them out. You'll notice what we do is we pre-nade this a lot, because usually if they try to rush, those nades are really going to stop that rush, and we don't really need our nades when they're taking the site all that much. You really don't want to kind of be pulling your nade out when you're expecting them to come in. A lot of times they'll catch you off guard. But again, what we're doing here, I'm spotting. I see a guy. I immediately call Nick over so he can spot this, and we're just trying to delay him as much as possible. Call for rotates. I'm just kind of random flashing because I'm expecting them to be there right there. I flash up. I'm going to get pretty aggressive here, especially because I have Nick's help here. I feel I'm free to kind of do what I want now that I have Nick's help. Although he falls right here, so I'm just kind of playing an odd angle, waiting for them to come up. I'm only able to get one. The other's coming up with the op, but I was able to delay them, and that's going to be key to us winning this round because we have our two teammates right outside the site there because I believe I called bomb. They were able to rotate. They posted up on the hall, and they were able to get the two guys remaining. Again, we triple naded that, and then we pushed through that because we noticed they really haven't playing lobby. They've kind of been scared to play lobby since we've been pushing it. I mean, they've only been sending one there, and since that one guy's been getting dominated, they've just kind of been avoiding it. So we feel we're free to push up here, take control of the map, and although it really didn't have that much of an effect on the round because I think they were eco, had they been on a gun round and they did that, we would have immediately isolated half the map, and it would have made it that much easier for us. So what I'm doing here is I'm immediately playing aggressive, or I push the halls. I really haven't done this yet because they've kind of been taking their time getting their red room, and they did change it up this round, which caught me a little bit off guard, and they were able to get that entry on me, and two guys came up right away. But since they were so far back on the hall, we kind of allowed for a rotate, although they weren't able to get there fast enough. I think they responded a little quicker, or communications were a little bit better, we could have caught that they were coming out with the hall there because they were pretty far away when they killed us. And that's one more advantage to playing aggressive because if I'm that far up, if they do get entry kills on us, it's still not that big of a loss because they still have a long way to go to take the site. Though I think we are going to lose this round. You see the spot Rector is playing in the hall. This is probably the best position you could probably play post-plant. Playing in the site, you're open to a lot of angles. Playing in that hall, you really can play with the diffuser a lot. I mean, you could just peek him when he fake diffuses it, and you're really not susceptible to kind of getting shot back when he fakes it. You can really play with the guy diffusing, make him waste his time, and you're probably at the biggest advantage as opposed to any other spot. So we know that they're playing one lobby, and just because of that nade, we're almost positive there's only one there. And so we push up again, and we're able to take that guy out, and we're doing a really good job of it. However, the guys that were playing Red Room got up there before we were able to push that, but we did take notice of that, and we did nade it, and we were able to get the kill on him. However, we don't want to aggress any further because they do have position on that room now. So we have two entries, so we just kind of play our advantage. We just double up, get set up for trade kills, so we can ensure the round win. And what you'll notice here is I take notice of the timer here. It's down to 25 seconds right now, and even though I have absolutely no clue if they're coming or not, all I'm going to do is just random flash, because I know they have to be committing sometime. They have to be committing within the next 10 seconds or so. So just flashing that by completely guessing, and I happened to be right that they were coming up, I delayed them 10 seconds, and so I gave them absolutely no chance to win the round because it was down to 20. They get out of the hall at about 3 seconds, so obviously you're not going to have any chance of planning. And you'll notice one more thing about Mustang is that he's the rotator, like I mentioned earlier. He always comes to B early round because I think B is the only. I'm sorry, this is A. I still refer to him as the 1.6 names, but he comes there early because it's really the only spot where they can rush, the lobby, and so they don't really have to worry about a rush canyon or through the catwalk because they really just can't get there that fast. So he comes to A early to worry about the rush, and then he rotates off to kind of watch the event. And we had our double up set up upper, and it worked quite well. Nick was kind of able to draw their attention, and Nick and I just kind of played back and forth. We played cat and mouse with them. He would peek, then I would peek, and it turned out pretty well. I believe we got 4 kills there at the upper hall. So now on our T side, what we do, and what we did pretty much every round, is we just kind of methodically work this. We take it into a default. I think Ruska is a map that it really depends on what happens early round, what you do. And so we pretty much get into our default setup every round, and then I pretty much call a strat at the end of the round, towards the end of the round, what we're doing, because I really think this is kind of dependent on how the CT side is playing. And you notice we have one player coming from lobby. We had 3 towards mid, and what we did was we pre-naded that mid. So if there's an opper there, that we will get that kill there. And again, we really don't need our nades at any other point in the round. You will see a couple times where we do nade this aggressive haul, and I know that there's an aggressive guy coming, so I immediately counter flashed, and I was able to get that flash off just before he peaked, so we got that kill. We got that kill. I get up as far up hall as I can, and I'm trying to spot to see where they are, how many rotates they've come, and I notice that I do see a guy outside there, so I try to kind of call that strat based off that, and you'll notice we had a couple guys canyon, and they were very quiet, so that Nick and I pulled a fake at the A site, and we were able to do that pretty well. However, we weren't able to get the kills that we wanted at A, so it's only down to a 1 versus 2 here, but this is a alright situation for us. Mustang almost nades himself, but again, this is a pretty good position post plant too. You kind of want to play with him on this ramp. If there was only 1 left, he would be at a great advantage there. Even 2 left. If a volcano came through the stairs there instead of flanking him through the ramp, Mustang would have been in a great position to win the round. Because again, at that ramp, it's kind of like that spot on halls at A. You can really just kind of random peek, hide on them, make them move, and you have really good spotting abilities there to kind of spot on the bomb after plant. So you see the first guy, we always have this first guy, we have 3 AKers come through mid, then the opper cover us, and we always have that first guy flash. So our best spawner flashes up, so that we don't have to worry about that op pick right there. A lot of what our default is just kind of worrying about the aggressive and just getting in position so that we don't have to worry about getting entry picks. Because what happened to 3D when we were on the CT side is we were very aggressive. We were able to get a lot of entry picks. And we noticed that's kind of a common thing on Ruska is a lot of aggressive teams. They'll win rounds by being aggressive early. And we did the same thing, but we kind of set up our default to avoid that, to avoid kind of getting picked at the very beginning of the round so that we can run strats later in the round. However, that didn't work out for us. We got up to the hall there. We did get it kind of into our strat position, and we executed. However, it didn't work. We were going to just kind of explode up hall there. We had 1 flash pop, and then we turned the corner. However, he did a good job of avoiding the flash, and he was able to spray us down as we came up the hall. Again, we get into our default here. We're pre-nading this corner because a lot of times After the operas take an initial pick, they'll stay at that corner and just pick goofy angles and try to get you running up. So we pre-nade that corner just to avoid that. And you'll see I toss the bomb down in red room because I'm kind of working up here. And I methodically work up this hall because a lot of people play aggressive on those angles. So I take my time, I strafe out, I pre-fire corners just to see if there's anybody playing aggressive. Once we identify kind of where they're playing, then I call a strat. I kind of look at where we are in the map and where I think their rotates have come, and then I call a strat based off there. We have two guys set up towards upper, and I'd like to take, we have been getting some picks at upper, so I'd like to take it towards here. We have Paradox selling a fake towards A, and I believe, I'm not sure where Mustang is. What we probably should have done here is just grouped. We were at I believe a 4 versus 2 or 4 versus 3 advantage, and instead of just kind of faking, we should have just grouped and taken a site. We had a lot of time. It does come down to a 1 versus 1 here. Nick did a good job of getting that kill. However, this is going to be very difficult for him to win the round. He's got 18 health with an op pinned in the site, and the guy knows exactly where he is. So again, we keep working in our default. Even though we're down 3-0, we're accomplishing what we want to do at the very beginning of the round. Maybe we're not winning the rounds because I don't think we're being smart about late round. We want to group when we get the picks, and we're really not doing that. So what we're going to try to do is a better job of capitalizing on our picks. Paradox gets a pick at A, and we notice we have 4 towards B here. So Paradox is probably just going to continue selling that fake, or just group with us, or go vents. Those are 3 good options right here. And what he's going to do is flank the vents, which is probably the best of the options. Nick and I work up towards the hall here, and you'll notice Nick stays back. He's posted up at the corner with an op, while I'm able to work up here. I'm able to work nades and flashes right here. However, that's exactly why he was posted up, because I get flashed right there. A lot of times someone will re-peek that corner. And so we're able to get out hall here. I think they might have come up the lobby ramp a little prematurely. However, we are able to take the site. It is down to a 1 versus 1. However, there's only 14 seconds left, and so Nick does a good job up here. He flashes out right away, and he just decides to plant. I'm not exactly sure why he kind of pushed out halfway. That probably hurt him. I think he probably then realized that he was low time, and he didn't really have time to push out. So a little unlucky on our part, but we're still doing a good job of getting the pick, so I see no reason to really change kind of the setup we're using, because we are getting in the situations that we want, so we're just going to keep running this. So Nick gets that entry pick right there, and we want to capitalize this. We want to kind of figure out where we think they're going to rotate and hit that area. However, I think we've been going a little too quick after our pick, so we're just going to take our time. We got Paradox working the hall again. We really want to take control over the whole area of the map and then group and decide. Like I said, this is part of the holding of aggressives right here. And since we're able to get another pick at upper, we want to quickly take up here. And so we have probably a 1 versus 3 in the site. Griffin, Mustang come out the lobby. Noit and I come out the upper, and we have a 2 versus 5 now. And we have bomb down plan in the site. So we get that round again, keep working this setup. I'm the first guy out. I bank my flash off there, then I peek out. I always break the vent early, so that it gives us the option to, later in the round, get into that vent without making as much of a distraction. Instead of having to break 2 vents, you only have to break 1 vent. So I always break that vent. I'm working up close here. You see I walk up here because these rafters are very noisy, and there's really no reason to run. I pre-nade this corner right here, then I have Nick come out right here. Now we're expecting an aggressive, so I try to get into a good position right here so to counter that. I flash up here, and I'm immediately going to push up as soon as I can with Nick covering my angle. I think there's an opera at the end there, so I'm being a little bit careful. But I get up here. I've been able to take control of the hall, and we want to capitalize on this pick as soon as possible. So I smoke out, so that I'm covered from outside the site, so that if there's an opera right there, I don't have to worry about it. And there actually does happen to be an opera right there, and my smoke saved me from dying there. And this is another good position post plan. If you're not able to get inside the hall, or if you already have a guy there, I believe Nick is already there. I really like this spot because I'm kind of not really open to any angles, and people don't often check it when they're running up. So that's a really good spot post spawn if you don't know exactly where they are. So we're getting picks, again, upward, because we still want to keep working that. Again, just take this methodical approach, slowly peeking out, clearing these angles, pre-nading corners, just like so. A lot of times, I call this connector, by the way, I come help the haul guy through the connector, see if there's any aggressives, and then we just 4-group here, and now we're at a 3 versus 5, so we want to just group, take advantage of our picks, and take them to the site as soon as possible before they rotate. And again, you'll see Nick gets into the hall. That's exactly where you want to put your opper. He can pick guys coming into the site. He can also kind of pick the guys coming up our hall. And now it's down to a 4 versus 1, and we're able to win the round. And so that's going to be the game. I believe it was a 10-6 score. Just a recap. That I think on CT sides you really want to be aggressive, because it causes a lot of problems for the terrorists if they're not able to adapt right away. And 3D did an okay job of adapting. However, early on we were able to get a lot of picks and take control of the map. So that's definitely something you want to be doing on your CT side. On your CT side, we did a lot of defaults. That's not necessarily what you always want to do, or it worked in this situation. If you're getting a lot of picks, you just want to stick with that. So, well, this has been my first Ruska commentary. I hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you next time.